Evil is stirring and the end of the world is nigh. Let's join in! This episode I'll be reviewing Fate of the Elder Gods after this. Hey there, it's Theo from Geeky Gamer Guy. On this channel I show you all things board games, from top 5 lists, playthroughs, reviews just like this one, to how to plays called peep plays where I misplaced my shirt. So if you're new here, think about subscribing. I also have something very wickedly delicious to announce at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Alright, pull on your hoods and warm up your chanting voices, it's time to get started. In Fate of the Elder Gods from Fabled Nexus, part of Greater Than Games, 1 to 4 players are in direct competition to summon their cult's elder god first, by any means necessary. Even if that means sacrificing your cult members to the abyss to do so.
Bye, Felicia.
Now the world won't just take the coming apocalypse laying down. No, humanity's last hope is left up to those annoying investigators who want to unravel all the progress your cult made by placing elder signs, which is, if you know anything about Lovecraft, no bueno for a cult. With spell cards in hand, players take turns using them to travel to locations around Arkham on the Fate Clock game board. Each location gives benefits, like traveling to the museum to discover powerful artifacts, or to the ceremony to commune with the Elder God and harness their dark gift. If you have the most cultists in that location, you gain more access to even more powerful abilities. A spell card can also be ready to your reserve to use at any time. These spells can help you or harm other players. While a spell is in reserve, it can be used to ready even more spells, giving your cult an engine of destructive power. One such nasty spell that can plague players comes in the form of curses. Curse cards are drawn by another player. If throughout the rest of the game the cursed player performs an action that triggers it, the player announces the card and its effect, which is always bad.
Debts must be paid after all.
The game ends in one of 2 different ways. Either if a player gets to the 9th space in their summoning track and they win, or a player gets 10 elder signs placed on them. That player loses and the player with the least elder signs wins. I freaking love this game. It was my top competitive game pick from Gen Con 2017 after all, and it did not disappoint. It's really refreshing to be on the other side of the apocalyptic seesaw and control cultists competing to end the world. These cults are unapologetically bad, and it makes the game feel so deviously delectable.
Being bad feels so good.
The 2 different endgame strategies really change how you can win the game. You can either race to the end of the summon track or get investigators to put elder signs on other players. I'm not normally a fan of take that in a game, but this one implements it beautifully. There's no room for a nice cult, and if you want to get ahead, you have to do anything in your power to do so. And that means bowling over your competitors with spells timed at the right moment. The curse cards are especially nasty. They're like the Crossroads deck from Dead of Winter, but on a much larger scale. These curse cards are not only in play when a player first gets it, but in play for the rest of the game. Plus, the effects that trigger it are very common actions that can be taken, leaving you to really think about what sort of moves you should make when you have a couple of curses on you.
Oh, the suspense.
Now it'd be crazy for me not to mention how amazing the game looks. Every component is made very well with bright pops of color, with a mixture of matte and shiny textures. Plus the minis are some of my most favorites of any game. The wash on the Fate piece really brings out the details of the sculpt. Now even though there are many positives, I have a couple negatives as well. In the past few games I played, there has definitely been a clear runaway winner early on. If other players don't have any way to stop them, the player will win by a good amount. That can pretty much happen with any game, and experience should remedy this. It can get a bit long and chaotic with higher player counts, so if a person can't handle the take that, it might frustrate them with all the spells being flung around. Also, while every sculpt is amazing, I would have liked another sculpt of the investigator to add variety. I think that with all those minor gripes, this game is amazing, and I highly recommend you give it a try. Rating 9.5 slimy tentacles out of 10. Thanks to the awesome people over at Greater Than Games, I'm giving away a copy of Fate of the Elder Gods. All you need to do is like this video, subscribe, and answer this question. What would be your cult's name and why in the comments? For me, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty obsessed with going to the gym and working out. so my cult's name would be
The hand, the bomb, the iron. Oh.
I'm excited to hear yours. Until next time, stay geeky, keep gaming.